Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about Attack of the Clones. I'm going to do a review. So, Attack of the Clones is set 10 years after the events of The Phantom Menace. And kind of like in the first, I actually say like in the first movie because nobody was really trying to kill Padme until towards the end of the movie per se. But this movie starts out with a bombing. Somebody was clearly trying to kill Padme. So the Jedi Council sends her two protectors, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, both who haven't seen Padme since the events of The Phantom Menace. And we can see that Anakin never got over his little boy crush over Padme. And attachment is forbidden, essentially. At least in Anakin's words. Love is forbidden. Well, the love part. So, this movie really tests Anakin, see if he's what is considered at this time a true Jedi. If he can let go of Padme, or if he's going to embrace her, because this kind of works as a love story between Anakin and Padme. So Obi-Wan goes after this bounty hunter chase. This is changeling called Sam Weasel that essentially tries to kill Padme because Farrah Higher Gun, who later gets killed by Jango Fett. Obi-Wan goes and investigates who the hell is trying to kill the senator. Well, Anakin goes to Naboo with Padme and to try to protect her. But initially, I guess you could say in a way successful, but failed at the same time. But at the same time, that's where he his crush on Padme strengthens, and they do kiss. So in a really cringe dialogue right up to the kiss, you can tell part of Padme is digging and we can tell you can tell Padme is debating whether or not to give Anakin a chance really, or I watched this multiple times, and it's Padme kind of wants to, but she doesn't want to, because she knows the risk of Anakin getting expelled if she goes into a romantic relationship with her, and she could get kicked if someone finds out. But the scene where Anakin, has been dropping, obvious hints that he likes Padme, and Padme's Anakin, no. Trying to, push him away. And there's even this one scene where, Anakin professes his love to Padme. Padme sings this, somewhat, you can say, a sexy, costume or outfit where, you can see, the top both for, boobs, and they're kind of, big, and I can tell you this right now. If there's this for all ladies, if there's a dude who is crushing on you, and you wear an outfit that Padme was wearing when she was in that scene that I'm referring to, telling a guy, hey, I don't want to be with you, but you're wearing stuff like that, you're torturing the dude. You're torturing the poor bastard. Because he likes you, you're rejecting him, but you're also wearing that type of outfit that is pretty much saying to a person who has like a player or like is a player or like has a genuine feelings for you, like, oh, I really want to like do like the romantic with you, the dirty with you, but you rejected me, like I get like nah. If you don't want those guys to like whatever like crush we have or thing we have for you to like grow, don't wear like those type of outfits in front of us. That's my best advice. I also have that like if you don't, then you're just pretty much inviting that type of thing. Which can get complicated. I know like some people like complicated, others don't. It's also about being fair, so that's my advice. So then pretty much the next part, like Anakin has nightmares about his mom dying. They go to Tatooine and Anakin meets his brother-in-law, like stepbrother, being Owen Lars, and his girlfriend at the time, Beru Lars, or Beru, not at the moment Lars. But those two are like, the future like parents or caretakers, as to say, of Anakin and Padme's son, Luke Skywalker. They tell that Tusken Raiders came and they took me. Anakin is able to locate me, and he goes on a, like this like rampage in the Tusken village, slaughtering everyone. Not just the men, but the women and the children too. And I wish, and maybe someone can do this in animation form. Either based on the Attack of the Clones book, if they have the more description of what happened, and that part, or like just imagine what Anakin would have done, and then put in CGI. But like, I wish that part would have been stretched out for like at least 5 more seconds. Just 5 more seconds would have done a lot for that scene, and for those arc for Anakin, because we know that essentially in the next movie, somehow, without like spoiling the next movie for anyone who hasn't seen like a 12 years old or a 18-year-old movie, in this case, or like, guess I'm spoiling a 11-year-old movie. No, sorry, a 21-year-old movie. But it would have been like, so we like know that somehow Anakin does turn to the dark side and does become Darth Vader in the next movie. So it would have been like that part would have been like nice to get like 5 more seconds at the very least, just to see more of that Vader side of Anakin before he officially becomes Darth Vader. That would have been cool. That would have been great to see. Yeah, it might be dark and somewhat gory for Star Wars standards, but still, like I said, that like just having that scene where Anakin goes on a like rampage of slaughtering the people in the village after his mother died, that would be a really good scene. And I don't know why George Lucas didn't put that in there. That's like, he had a good scene, good momentum. He cut it off way too short. So when it comes to like outside of the cringy romantic dialogue Padme and Anakin has with each other, that's really like my main gripe with Attack of the Clones source is that scene could have and should have been longer. Then Anakin goes to the Lord's homestead, carries his mother's dead body. There's a little service. There's this little memorial service, and then R2 comes out, gives Anakin. I'm tempted to say Luke for some reason. Anakin and Padme this message that Obi-Wan got sent to them, which was I know where the Separatists are located at, and it's that Geonosis. I processed need backup. I got captured, and essentially like while like the whole Anakin Padme thing was happening, Obi-Wan's investigation led him to Kamino, where it led to like a clone army that apparently Sifo Dyas made for the Jedi. Um and and so Obi-Wan goes to Kamino, finds out there's a clone army for the Jedi. And the clones are based off of this bounty hunter called Jango Fett. And Jango Fett actually has this unaltered clone named Boba. I say unaltered because like the other clone troopers has accelerated aging. And before I continue, fun fact, I did meet the guy who played Boba Fett in this movie in June of 2020 or 2012. Daniel Logan. I met him at Star Wars weekend at Disney in Florida. Was one of the coolest moments of my life, and Daniel Logan actually retweeted me like 2, maybe 3 times in the duration of me having a Twitter, which is just like an honor. And I'm still like nerding out inside over that. So yeah, Daniel Logan's a pretty cool dude. If you guys haven't followed him on his social media, do it. Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what else he has, but I follow him on both those platforms. Really cool dude. So Obi-Wan and Jango Fett gets into a fight. They escape in the Slave One, which is how Obi-Wan found Geonosis. Obi-Wan gets kidnapped, tries to record, doesn't finish recording exactly, but Count Dooku captures Obi-Wan. Count Dooku was Qui-Gon Jinn's master who fell to the dark side, who's now Darth Sidious's apprentice, and Count Dooku's pretty much just upfront tells Obi-Wan, yeah, that still controls the Senate now. Same as Sidious. You might want to check into that. You can join me and help me defeat him. But Obi-Wan refuses, and that is potentially like, I'm not saying like Obi-Wan was like wrong for rejecting Dooku's offer, but like I would have like tried to like fool Dooku saying I'll join you, only to find out who's this Dooku person. But essentially that's the extent of the conversation. Getting back to like when Anakin gets the message from Obi-Wan, essentially, Anakin transmits that message to Coruscant like Obi-Wan instructed in the message. Mace Windu says, "Stay there, protect the center of all costs." Padme and Anakin goes to Geonosis anyways, and tries to rescue Obi-Wan. Gets captured themselves, and then we see the 3 of them fighting these creatures. 2 of them gets killed, and then we get potentially one of the best moments in Star Wars history, even today. I don't care if it's like you're going to say just the Lucas era or in general, Lucas and Disney era. One of the best moments of Star Wars history. Mace Windu comes out, points his like blade of his lightsaber towards Jango Fett's throat, saying this part is over. We get and this is after like Chancellor Palpatine gets like promoted to Supreme Chancellor, where he allowed the Republic to have an army. And like when after like Mace Windu says this part is over, and then after Count Dooku says right for foolish, you'd be dead. I don't think so. Or no, after though he said the party's over because I'm getting ahead of myself. We see all these like lightsabers popping up, Primos out of nowhere, and oh my lord, that like I remember. I'm going back to like the first time I seen Attack of the Clones, which was in like 2008, and or no, sorry. Is it 2008 when I got, yeah, 2008, 2007, 2008. I was 11 at the time, and just seeing different like multiple lightsabers, knowing that there are multiple Jedi. Like, oh shoot, what's going to happen? And then after like some fire shoots at Mace Windu. After like Mace Windu deflects some like shots and it jumps into the arena scene, we see like a plethora of Jedi just in the Jedi arena. Like some getting killed by the droids. Most of them, like a good majority, like they get him like a good amount of droids, but not enough. And of course, Padme being the only non-Jedi there. And that scene was like so cool. So cool. And as a 11-year-old, when I watched it this first time, I was like really into it. I was like, hell yeah, this is cool. Even that like the cheesy joke C-3PO said in that part couldn't face me. Like, yeah, this is like, kill them, use the Force, choke them, lightning them. At the time, I didn't understand that lightning was more of a dark side ability, and so that shit was cool. Even as like a 27-year-old dude, I'm digging that. And just seeing like oh lord, that scene was cool. And then we get the remaining like surviving Jedi and Padme in the center, surrounded by the droids. And then Yoda comes in with some of the clone troopers, rescuing the Jedi. I was saying, yes! You know, that's like, to be fair, that was like the only time in the movie where the name Attack of the Clones came into play. Because, like, the Phantom Menace, we all knew the Phantom Menace was Darth Sidious. We got that, Chief Palpatine. In this movie, I was like, the only time when the clones attacked was in this scene. The rest of the movie could have been like named something different. To be honest, but nah, this was like cool. A real like that was a cool scene to see. And then we get a duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku. Dooku cuts off Anakin's right hand, which is how he got his robotic hand in the both Clone Wars cartoon. Essentially, it's because of this movie. He was being too irrational. And then Yoda comes in, kicks, like, he could have easily took Dooku to school. But Dooku, like, nearly, like, kills Obi-Wan and Anakin by making this, like, thing nearly fall over top of them. Making Yoda having to, like, force lift, like, use the Force to, like, prevent that to happen, having Dooku to escape. Essentially, Anakin's rashness started the Clone Wars. And you can say Anakin would, like, was the reason why the Clone Wars ended and why the Galactic War began. So in reality, the Clone Wars, in a way, and the Galactic Wars was Anakin's fault. Because both times he could have like easily stopped the bad guys, right? He could have easily stopped like Dooku, and the Clone Wars probably wouldn't have taken place as soon. And the Galactic War, he could have easily like either killed Chancellor Palpatine, Or like Mace Windu killed Chancellor Palpatine. Spoiler alert in Revenge of the Sith. Or like arrested Chancellor Palpatine, or yeah. And the events of the original trilogy would not have played out the same way. So Anakin is at fault for 2 wars. And essentially ending 2 wars. So, yeah. And essentially, we get a scene with Obi-Wan, Mace, and Yoda saying the Clone Wars began. See this clone army. And then, essentially, Anakin and Padme gets married. And boom, that's the end. This movie was pretty good. Is it the best Star Wars movie? No. But it's amongst the best. Especially, I will gladly watch this and the cringy scenes between Anakin and Padme together. Then having over and over and over again on a loop. Then having to watch The Last Jedi or Rise of Palpatine over and over and over again. Anyways, my point is, this movie is good. I think what got me, even as an adult, is the Jedi Council in the last movie were just sitting there barking orders. And sure, in this movie, they were sitting there barking orders too. But by the end of this movie, and I don't know if this was a criticism that people had, probably. They were just barking orders in the last movie. But this movie, they actually did shit. They didn't tell our main heroes to, do this or that while just appearing to stay on the council chambers, appearing to be lazy people. So, yeah, I really do enjoy that the Jedi, we got to see more Jedi in action. I enjoy having the clone troopers there, introducing the concept of clones in Star Wars. The Clone Wars, teasing the Clone Wars. I can I can understand why people say the whole Anakin and Padme relationship may be weird because Padme being older, but isn't she 2 years older than Anakin or no, because she was 14 by the time Phantom Menace came out, right? That character, and Anakin was 8, maybe 9. That's still about at least a 5-year gap, if not a bit more. Correct me if I'm wrong. My parents are 5 years apart, and they got married. So I can kind of see, on one hand, the criticism because Padme did meet Anakin as a kid, and she was a preteen. At the same time, or a teenager. But on the other hand, he was over 18. By the time they hooked up. But I can see how people will still say that's weird. I don't know. I guess some people just wants to would have liked to have seen Anakin be a bit older before going to the relationship with Padme, which is understandable. So, yeah, I'm done trying to think about this through. But we had to get a setup for how Luke and Leia were created, right? And we already knew at this point, if we watched the original trilogy, that Anakin was the father of Luke Skywalker, and Leia Organa's birth father. So I guess we had to get that set up in this movie so we can have Padme be pregnant in the next one. So spoiler alert again, sorry. Well, that said, that's my Attack of the Clones review. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And may the Force be with us all.